well-rounded, successful hairdresser or esthetician by not only teaching them the technical skills, but also the professionalism, the benchmarking to understand their business, the service delivery of a luxury service to help them to retain guests. So when I say sustainability, I view it as a place where you don't just learn for today, you learn for tomorrow. Like you learn for the rest of, your career, the foundations of what you need to be successful. And, so I think sustainability, let's see. I do think fun, creative, with a sophistication.
Okay.
So, and here's how I view it differently. So Aveda's always had this very sophisticated image, and held true to that. So I still view us as, Paul Mitchell, for instance, has always had this like rock star hairdresser image. We're going to put somebody with bright red mohawk on the cover of this, or we have these hairdressers who are just really cool and editorial type of things, and it's like almost like this sexy kind of rock star thing. That's their thing. Aveda's always had this sophisticated thing. I think it's got to be, you still hold a little bit of that sophistication, but it's got to be more fun and attractive to younger generations. But I still think the difference between us, if this makes sense, and I know it's not just a word, but is that we want to help people to get a career that they can support do a career that they love, that they're passionate about, that they can also, just support their families, and they're solid, secure jobs. Not everybody wants to be an editorial stylist. Not everybody wants to work the runway and, or do photography work, or do, the celebrities. And so I think that that's where Aveda's always tried to position themselves, but I think it gets lost and it gets boring.
Yeah.
It
almost sounds like Paul Mitchell is selling the dream that not a lot of people get to maybe experience. And Aveda is selling like, not the
reality,
like
maybe
the reality, but also like the security and like the career of
it. Right.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fun, cool options too. I think that I think we have an opportunity to show the diversity around what you can do.
Yeah.
We have something for everybody, because Aveda is really known for being diverse and having the product line, having something for everybody. That's one of the points of difference we've shared for years. And I think that's what school has to, we had to show we have something for everybody. There's diversity in what you can end up doing.
Yeah.
So fun, creativity, still with sophistication, like sustainability and longevity. And then, there's an element of structure, and I hate to say it because again, it kind of puts you back in that box of boring, but we have a very structured program. There are schools where you can come and go as you please, where, you don't have as strict attendance policies, and, we want to create successful hairdressers. So if you're late, you have to go home. We have structure around appearance, attendance, conduct. So yeah.
I'm curious. We talked a little bit about how, showing the career options. Are there other things that you wish more prospective students knew about the Aveda Institutes that just aren't being conveyed today?
What I wish they knew that we're not conveying.
Yeah, it could be something like, I just wish they knew this. I wish more people had access to this information, or, that sense of like,
I think, so a big part of our mission is giving back to society. Um, and so Aveda has these community care events, Earth Month and breast cancer awareness are our biggest two corporate focuses that all of Aveda corporate and the salons and schools focus on fundraising throughout the year. However, in the institutes, we do so much with local groups, so many great things. It might be, proms, for, students, with disabilities, or, I mean, I can't even name all the things, and every campus has their own things. And I think that, getting that out enough and telling that story, where, this generation really wanting to be a part of something like that. I think that, we don't do enough of those, just getting that all out there in those blasts.
Yeah.
I think we've always had a missing PR, piece.
Yeah.
That,
you're not the first person. I've heard that there's like so many great stories, but they're just not, they're just not being pulled up there and showed.
Yeah. And it's the little everyday things that, we got an email from a guest this week from a student in a school who she had done her mother's hair, this woman's mother's hair, and her mother recently lost her husband. Anyway, it was a lovely email about how amazing this student was with the mom and how it totally turned her. She'd been so down and it turned her around. And it's like those kind of day maker feel good. Like, this is what you have the power to do stories that I also don't think we get to tell a lot.
And that notion of the day maker feels like that's very specific to Aveda as well.
Yes, it is. And it all started with a story of a well-known Aveda hairdresser.
Yeah. With the person who was going to commit suicide.
Yes. David Wagner. Yeah. David Wagner. And so, so that's, there's this whole underlying theme that, I share that with admissions managers, is we have a responsibility in this industry, and when you realize, like he realized that day what the responsibility was, that, you can't avoid, you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
Because every day you have to, you can't have a bad day, basically.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I think those kind of stories, I think we don't do a good job highlighting, in institute specific. We have educators who've done amazing things and, just who have had a lot of education. I think just highlighting them, we don't tell those stories a lot, or enough. And then really our Hall of Fame, I don't think that we talk about, we tend to talk about the graduates who have, they've done J-Lo, but, you don't talk about this weekend at Aveda Congress. One of the students that I was the director of one of our schools, she's going to be on stage doing hair for the whole Aveda network. And all of our, pretty much that whole group of that particular group of people are graduates of our institute. We have so many, graduates doing really awesome things. But besides that, the girl who cuts my hair, works out of New Orleans. She was one of my students. She's been cutting my hair since she was in school. She was just naturally talented at 18. She was amazing. Yeah. And I said, okay, she's going to be so successful. She's consistently the top producer for Paris Parker, which is the Neal Corporation salons. The last several years, she's consistently top producer in service and retail.
Yeah.
And she's been with the company for 15 years. She's an amazing hairdresser. She's always up on the latest trend. She'll never let you have bad hair. Don't look at mine. It's not styled yet today. So don't judge my hair.
I washed mine and put mine up, so don't judge me.
I still have to curl it. But no, she's an example of a story I think's important to show. She makes a great living. She loves what she does every day. She's consistent and she uses all of those skills she learned in school. And that's why she's so successful. But you know what? She's married. She lives in New Orleans. She doesn't, do all of this editorial and cool stuff.